This fight is because it's for 2 belts.
I mean, I think it's definitely legit because he has 2 world titles. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Jai Opetaia has another one. He has 2 legit titles right there. So, I think so. It's a legit fight. It's a legit, title shot, and I'm gonna be very happy once I capture those 2 titles. I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division. And that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world, and if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight.
I'm ready to fight. I've been chasing these big fights for quite a while. I want to call myself Undisputed, so it is what it is. I'm ready when they are.
Yep, I agree.
And I like the fight with Jai. I think the Jai Opetaia fight at cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. Now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made at the cruiserweight.
David Benavidez has agreed to face Jai Opetaia as excitement continues building around a huge showdown between 2 elite fighters competing for dominance in the division.
You got a great following.
In addition, Jai Opetaia also showed interest in fighting David Benavidez, saying he would be fully prepared if the matchup becomes official. He added that he respects Benavidez as a talented fighter with a strong fan base and welcomes the challenge.
If he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it does not make sense to me if we don't fight. You know what I mean? Like, he's coming up fighting for a undisputed, like a unification fight, and he's going to be holding the WBO and WBA. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would.
Furthermore, Opetaia views a potential fight with David Benavidez as the most logical matchup if both fighters hold titles in the same division, believing that defeating top champions is the real way to prove superiority in the weight class.
Gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opetaia is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. The actual champion of the division is...
Adding another opinion, Max Kellerman stated that David Benavidez still has not secured a defining title fight against elite champions such as Canelo Alvarez, Dmitry Bivol, or Artur Beterbiev, while describing Jai Opetaia as an active champion who consistently faces top-level opponents.
Sort of judge on out in the past, and they haven't been too much, so Jai's a completely different beast. So what he can do to them is completely different from what he can do to Jai, so we'll see what happens and put everything together.
Meanwhile, Tapu Opetaia admitted that David Benavidez is a talented boxer, but questioned the overall quality of some of his past opponents. He described Jai Opetaia as a completely different type of challenge and suggested the fight would show how Benavidez handles that level.
Great fighter. He's doing well, but I think he still needs the experience, His last fight, I think he held back. He looked a little bit tired. He was struggling in there. He did win the fight to me. He did win pretty much all the rounds. But, I just think that he needs a little bit more experience. We'll fight him tomorrow.
At the same time, Jose Benavidez Sr. recognized the abilities of Jai Opetaia, but suggested that he is still gaining experience against elite competition and may require more time at the highest level. He also expressed confidence that his team would accept the fight without hesitation, seeing it as a difficult but winnable matchup.
Now it's like, I don't think you can stay there. Yeah, I don't think that's Russian roulette. You see me on the boat, I'm a little more, I'm a swinger, he just, But, when it's the same size, Benavidez gonna have to show with real boxing skills. Because I don't think you can just walk him down.
On the other hand, Ron Ellis suggested that a fight against David Benavidez becomes much more difficult when he faces an opponent with similar size and strength, noting that Benavidez would need to depend more on technical boxing instead of constant pressure. He implied the matchup would test Benavidez's ability to adapt when he cannot simply overwhelm opponents.
I think Jai has a good chance too of possibly winning. Like I said, I think it just comes down to who shows up that night, for real.
Continuing the discussion, Schofield Jr. described a possible fight between Jai Opetaia and David Benavidez as a high-level matchup that should happen before either fighter considers moving to heavyweight. He added that Opetaia has a real opportunity to win, saying the outcome would depend on who performs better on fight night.
Opetaia, I double down on that one. He gonna beat Opetaia. See, Opetaia got good feet. Yeah, he can box, but he can be drugged into a fight. And if you know anything about David Benavidez, just like he did with Ramirez, he's the one of those guys that's gonna test your heart. He gonna test what you have in here. And once he go to Jai and he tests what he has in here, Jai gonna lose his. Jai ain't gonna be boxing and moving around. Jai gonna be looking to fight. Jai gonna get tired too. Yeah, because Jai, if you look at the history of Jai Opetaia, he get tired. Yes, he gets tired. Period.
On the other hand, Tim Bradley predicted that David Benavidez would defeat Jai Opetaia, arguing that Benavidez's pressure-heavy style could force Opetaia into a physical battle. He suggested that Benavidez's intensity and ability to test stamina could gradually wear Opetaia down, especially in close-range exchanges.
Stronger, pound for pound in punching, Opetaia punches a lot harder with one single shot than Benavidez. He's a harder, heavy-handed puncher. He's a southpaw. He has better feet than Benavidez. He's just as mean as Benavidez. That would be violent, man. That fight would be.
Meanwhile, Sergio Mora explained that although he previously favored David Benavidez in major fights, he now views Jai Opetaia as a very dangerous opponent. Mora highlighted Opetaia's powerful punching ability, southpaw stance, footwork, and aggressive mindset, suggesting the fight would be extremely physical and brutal.
You know what I mean? After I beat Bivol, I'm gonna have, right now I have 8 titles. You know, 3 of them were interim, 3 of them world championships at super middleweight, light heavyweight. Now I got 2 of them at cruiserweight. I really want those belts. You know, I want those accolades. So that's the only thing
At the same time, David Benavidez has also shown interest in a potential showdown with Dimitri Bivol, viewing it as a major opportunity to capture important titles and strengthen his reputation across multiple divisions.
Here to test myself at the end of the day and test my greatness.
Additionally, Benavidez has made it clear that he is willing to compete in different divisions, ranging from light heavyweight to cruiserweight, as long as the fights are meaningful. He explained that his main goal is to face the best opponents available rather than remain in a single weight class.
Beat Zurdo Ramirez. So if we can beat the one that beat the one, you know, those are the fights that we want to look for. We don't want no tune-ups, you know, and you seen David never wants tune-ups. He wants to fight the best. So we'll here fight the best at cruiserweight or...
Dimitri Bivol acknowledged the ambition displayed by David Benavidez, stating that elite fighters are expected to pursue major titles and remain active against high-level competition. He added that this mentality naturally creates bigger fights and gives them greater importance.
The two-fisted attack, and he has a bigger variety of punches. So that's a lot to just deal with, knowing that, you know what I mean, if he hits you clean, he could you know, do some kind of damage to you. And he's gonna hit Benavidez because Benavidez is gonna step to him. That's how Benavidez fights. So I think that's I don't know if I would pick Benavidez if this was 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's not. The man is 41, and 41 is 41. So I pick Benavidez to beat him. I think Benavidez gets off a little too quick.